Alright, yeah, and we are back with some more Magic Duels with our Drake discard deck. Let us not waste any time. Let's get into the games. I'll see you there. Alright, we're in, and we're on the draw. This hand actually is not too bad. We've got the Renegade map to go get our Black Source, so it's a little slow. We're going to be playing Crypt Breakers on turn 2, but we're close to our Languish. We can get close to our Orrery as well, which allows us to do lots of hilariously broken things with this deck. So let's go for it. Red mana, so it might actually be too slow. Oh, Drowned Catacomb. Never mind. If we've got a board wipe online, then no amount of aggression's really going to be that bad for us, I don't think. We'll see. So we've got Fatal Push for like early game things to be removed. It's blue-red into Telling Time. Okay. So it could be Mill, could be Prowess, possibly. Could be a lot of things. We'll just have to see, won't we? If it's creature focus though, our hand's pretty sweet. Alright, well, I'm gonna go crack the map so that we draw less lands. Grab a swamp. And then we shall play the swamp into a Crypt Breaker. And with that, we can start discarding stuff, because we don't really do anything next turn. Only issue is we don't really want to discard lands, because I do want to get to that Languish and hit our land drops on curve, but we'll see. Twin Bolt. Interesting. Well, I don't have to concern myself with what Crypt Breaker does anymore. So if now we've got a Macabre Waltz, what I can do is cycle the Archfiend and then we can Macabre Waltz it back whenever we want. And we get a nice little redraw as well. So we'll just pass, cycle on his end step. Hold up, counter spells that we don't have, and hard casted removal, which we only have on a 1 mana slot. So we can cycle and Fatal Push on the same turn. Goes with a Take Inventory. I feel like this is Prowess. Could still be Mill though. It's probably digging for a tutelage though, would be my guess. Okay, we're going to cycle the Archfiend. If it is Mill, it's not going to be that useful. And we get more lands. Ooh, that's not bad actually. So we can go Swamp into Orrery, hopefully. Yep, no Censor. Okay, and then we can play an extra Swamp for the turn and pass over. So now we can play extra lands each turn. And if we get empty-handed, then we can start drawing loads of cards. So I'm hoping for a discard option soon. Thing in the Ice. He is dead in the ice. Goodbye. Just deal with that now while we've got the mana open. So this Languish is pretty dead. That's probably what we're going to discard. Ooh, 2 lands for our turn. Not bad. Macabre Waltz, get back both of these, and then discard this Languish that looks to be completely useless. And then we'll play a 5/4. So close to being empty-handed. Exquisite Firecraft for our Archfiend. Sure. And he does nothing. Good, good. Ooh, Molten Vortex to discard extra lands. Well, he's not making extra land drops if he's got Molten Vortex. And we get empty-handed, so that's nice. Okay, so we'll play our Crypt Breaker, play a Renegade map, and then we'll draw 3 cards, 4 total, from our Orrery next turn. Which, as long as we don't draw absolutely terribly, is probably going to mean that we end up just steamrolling our opponent here. Because we've got a lot of discard in our deck. We've already hit a lot of lands, so the chances of us hitting 3 lands in that hand are not terribly likely. Hungry Flames. Maybe this is just a weird burn deck then. Alright, we draw extra cards. We get another Orrery. Well, I'm going to crack this map and we're going to get a land because we can still play our land drop for the turn. And then I don't know if we can... It's not possible to get empty-handed here. We'll play the Stitchwing because if he kills it, we can use its discard on a future turn. So we get 6 power down on the board. We're not going to draw extra cards, unfortunately. I'm assuming he's going to... Well, he's going to bombard our Scrounger. Sure. And then bombard our Stitchwing. 2 for 1. He's actually putting a bonus into our graveyard, though. I don't think he realises that we kind of want that discard. Okay. Play a land. And then we can actually just play both. These don't stack, though, do they? Because one triggers. Well, the first ability stacks, but it says at the beginning of each player's upkeep, if that player has no cards in hand, that player draws 3 cards. That one triggers, draws us some cards, then this one triggers, and then doesn't. So I'm just going to pass, and then we'll discard to Stitchwing, because it's going to come into play tapped, and then we'll get our Scrounger back as well. We'll be empty-handed to draw more cards. Take inventory. Into land. Holding up counters, but unfortunately, this is not something that can be countered. So we discard those, which gets us our Stitchwing back, and then we get our Scrounger, exiling Crypt Breaker, which gets us back the Daredevil back to hand if we want it. Which I suppose we will take it. Oh no, we don't want to take it! Oh, god damn it. I'm an idiot. Alright, well, we'll hit him for 6. And then we'll play our down our 4-2 and regret all of our decisions in life. Shouldn't have taken that because we'd have drawn 4 cards instead of 1. I'm an idiot. Punt. Alright. Well, he's kind of out of burn though, so it's fine, in a sense. We should have absolutely said no to that. But he's used, what, 3 bombardments now? So he's got 1 bombardment left. He's got probably... I'm assuming he might be running a full set of Hungry Flames and Firecrafts. Yeah. He's just run out of burn and all of our creatures just recur from the graveyard over and over again. He's got a Jace. Jace bouncing a thing actually does stop us drawing extra cards, but he's going to lose his Jace in the process. So I think that's possibly still the correct play for him, even though he's going to lose it. So we'll replay that. We're going to draw 4 next turn instead. 4 opponent, 3 at Jace. Pass the turn. Can our opponent get empty-handed? Because they can make good use of the Orrery then. There's a Chandra. 2 mana left. I doubt they can... Yeah, they can't get rid of all of them. It could have been a land and a burn spell, I suppose, but... Not good enough. Alright, well, we can Ruthless Sniper. Yeah, Ruthless Sniper. Play Key to the City. Then we will discard a card, making you unblockable. Discard the Drownyard Temple. Give that -1/-1. And then play the Scrounger. We'll play the Scrounger after we go to combat. Oh! For that reason, actually, funnily enough. Although we won't be getting it back, because I've learnt my lesson. Oh no, we will be getting it back, because I can actually pay for it to put it back on the board. Alright. Force the trade. Oh, the chump. We'll go Scrounger. We'll get the Daredevil back, because we can actually cast it. And stay empty-handed. We don't ramp with the Drownyard Temple, but that's completely fine, I think. And we're presenting lethal, and he passes. We draw 4. Key to City triggers. We'll pay. Loads and loads and loads of lands. Alright, well, even if we were going to try and get empty-handed, it doesn't look like it was going to happen. So, let's swing in for lethal. Alright, tiny punt, but other than that, didn't come back to bite us. Didn't end up mattering so much. Not bad. Alright, let's go on to another game. Alright, we're in, and on the play, we've got essentially a 3-lander. We've got no turn 1 play other than the map, which is good, so we're going to be playing on curve. Be able to Wharf infiltrate our prized amalgams and things like that into the graveyard. Yeah, seems reasonable to me. We'll swamp and map. Map will go get us our island for the infiltrator. So if this survives, then we'll be doing some silly things for quite some time. So we'll see if that happens. Blue mana leads me to believe we'll be doing some silly things. Okay. More swamps. I like hitting my land drops. Let's go island. Play the island, play the infiltrator. So infiltrator is almost effectively unblockable with Skulk. There aren't many 1-power creatures being played most of the time. And when it deals combat damage to a player, we get to draw a card and discard a card, which works quite well with... Ah, there's a shock. Shocker. Works quite well with the deck, and then we get to pay 2 and we get 3 2s, but that's just not going to happen today. More Drownyard Temples. Well, we'll just play out a Prized Amalgam. Hoping for something good on the next draw that we can cast a 4 mana play or less that's actually useful, because we got the mana for the Stitch Wings, kind of. We're missing 1 blue source. Thing in the Ice. Alright, well, what we'll do is we'll call his bluff. We'll swing in with our Prized Amalgam. See if he blocks. Breakhaven. Interesting. Well, that's a thing to cast. It's not a useful thing right now, but... Call his bluff. Alright. He's fine with that. She's fine with me, I suppose. So we'll play Drakehaven, hold up Fatal Push, even though we'd be casting it right now, most likely. It's always worth trying to swing in through something that can't kill your creatures, just in case he thinks you've got a pump spell. That thing in the ice, though, is going to need to be answered soon. Because even if we gather all of the drakes from the haven, they're going to get bounced eventually. That sucks really badly. Well, swamp and pass. If only we'd have got an extra island, we'd have been fine. I really need to see a Fatal Push or a Grasp of Darkness, though. Soon. Exquisite Firecraft, I'm assuming for our Amalgam? Yeah. Not sure why you'd bother with that. I think I would have probably gone to face, though. Since the thing in the ice is just... Hey, there we go. That's not too bad. Thing in the ice is effectively going to bounce that back to my hand, and it's better in my graveyard than it is in my hand. It's looking like Thing in the Ice is going to become an Awoken Horror very soon. Luckily for us, we can discard 2 cards for 3 mana, and we can get some Drakes though, so once it's flipped, we should be able to block it reasonably. But there's no way it doesn't flip here. Yeah, there's a shock for our face. Bounces our Stitchwing. Oh yeah, these are horrors. Huh. Good to know. Only bounces non-horrors. I bet that came as a surprise to him as much as it did to me. Still gonna let it die though, because I want it in my graveyard. And we have a backup one anyway. No sense in taking 7. Enigma Drake. Oh boy. Alright, well, let's discard 2 cards. Doesn't matter what colour, does it? Nope. Discard 2 cards. Discard the Drownia Temple and the Stitchwing. And then pay 2 to get some Drakes. Stitchwing comes back. Prize Amalgam comes back. And I think we'll hold this swamp for the Drake Haven, because we're going to probably discard the next card that we get to it. So we can double block the Enigma Drake, which might be worth it. I wonder if this is a Drake deck, similar to our Prowess one. So we've got a Temple and a Stitchwing in the graveyard right now. Lightning Axe, so we can't double block anymore. Alright, well, we'll chomp. Absorb a little bit of damage. Since our board's essentially going to get rebuilt anyway. More swamps. Happy to do this then. Discard, discard. Pay 2. Get back a Stitchwing. Right, how much do we want to swing? I think I'll swing with the Amalgam. That way we've got all the blockers in the world. He's going to need 2 removal spells in order for us to not double block this Drake. And we do need to start pushing through some damage eventually. We're going to need something good off the top, really. I'd say an Orrery, but I'm not sure if it's a good idea giving our opponent card advantage. Because I'm sure they could probably use it. Okay. And swings in with everything. Could have a pump spell. And call him on it. If he did have a pump spell, we can't let this happen. In fact, I could block there. But then he has, if he has a pump spell, he kills it anyway. Yeah. Okay. And take inventory. We're gonna need something good. Give me something good. Oh boy. Alright, well. Let's just pass. Ramp out our Drownyard Temple. That's about all we can do. Jorien, Rune Diver. Cast another spell, he draws an extra card. So we can always make 2 more Drakes, because we're going to draw an extra card and we've got a Stitchwing in the graveyard. But it's going to cost us whatever we draw, essentially. Block and block. So that prize amalgam's coming back. Telling time. Draws him a card. What could we draw that'd be good here? Cryptic Serpent. It's gonna have to be something good. I have no idea what that could be. Alright. It's certainly not a land. Jesus. Well. Discard the lands. Literally all we can do. And have been able to do. We get a prize amalgam back. We get a Stitchwing back. We delay the inevitable once again. Just gonna hold back. He's too strong, Captain. Firecraft on our Stitchwing. Pre-combat suits up the Fumarole. Yeah, here comes the Alpha Strike, which means we're forced to chump block. Actually, we're dead. Because I block there, switches over his Fumarole. That's 9 exact. Yeah, well, we absolutely well and truly flooded out there. We held on for as long as we could. Just wasn't good enough. Alright guys, well that is going to do it for today's episode. So if you did enjoy the content, then be sure to like and subscribe. It's a great way to support the channel. I do hope you enjoyed, and if you did, hit that little bell icon as well and you'll get notifications when new videos go live. I do hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.